Okay, so right now we're going to start teaching the walk, and what we were kind of talking about is that this works in a little bit of a roundabout way to deal with some of the anxiety and destructiveness. So part of it is energy, and energy has to go somewhere, right? So we want to start taking this energy out in a couple constructive ways. One of the ways is what's called our work window, which would be like our obedience training, right? And another window is called our play window. So those are a couple things I want to take a look at in the coming weeks here, but we're going to start with walking. See how he feels on a leash and everything like that. So I start my walking out by getting what's called a thumb lock grip. So I want to take the hoop of the leash, and this kind of has the big padding on it, which you may want to take off actually for comfort. But you want to put this over your thumb, so directly over your thumb. And then I take the leash and I'm going to fold it up and over and around. So I'm just kind of making like a double loop like this. And I'm going to lock this down in my hand, and this is going to give me a good touch with the leash. I'm going to start walking him. I'm going to go squirt bottle. It's going to be on my right side pocket, since most often we walk dogs on the left. So I'm going to put this here in case I have to use it for when I turn into him. But we're going to start walking him here, and this is going to be built off what's called the crazy man technique, meaning any way that he pulls, I'm going to go in the exact opposite direction to put slack back in the leash. When he finds that slack, I'm going to mark and reward and pay him, and I have treats in my hoodie pocket. So this is slack, but he's a little in front. I'm not going to worry too much about this now, so we can refine it. There he's kind of staring, so I'm going to turn. Good. When he moves, you'll see when I turn. Good. He puts the slack in that leash. I'm going to mark and reward him. Now, he's kind of slower, right? So he's not like running everywhere. So normally with most dogs, I'd put the food on the floor. With him, I'm not going to need to because he's not that kinetic. He's just not all over the place. Good. So for him, you can bring it right to him. So this is what we're looking for a dog to be a little bit behind us. As he starts to creep, I'm going to turn. When I turn, it creates that slack again. Good. I'm going to pay him with my left.
Okay, now they're here.
I'm going to turn in front of them, and this creates a moving boundary. This is kind of like picture being in the grocery store. You have that family that just walks in front of you with their cart.
Mm-hmm.
It makes him have to pay attention to where he is relative to me. Because at any point, I can just come across and do this. So he's kind of got to focus a little bit on where is my handle. Good. So the turn into him creates a boundary. So it creates a moving boundary that makes him spatially aware of where you are relative to him. And the turn away from him is called an about turn. That puts slack back in the leash. It can also serve as a correction as well. Good. He's doing really, really well with this, and he's just kind of a chill dog in general. As soon as you compliment him, there they go. I'm going to start adding an automatic sit. So when I do this automatic sit, I'm going to plant with my right foot, and as I'm moving, I'm going to pull up with the leash as I'm taking that left stride, just like that. Heel. I'm going to start to introduce our walking word, which is heel. I'm going to do that boundary here, since he's kind of lost his focus on this, obviously because he sees his mom. Good. Going to in stride. Good. Once I start introducing that auto sit, I like to start introducing the word heel. Mm-hmm. You can also start introducing it right away with your turns, your about turns, the turns away from him. Heel. You gave me some nice eye contact there. And I'm essentially setting it up so that when he does that auto sit and the eye contact, then it's going to predict the heeling again. right? So I'm kind of making the heel the reward for that. Right, see when he starts picking up speed, I can turn at any point, good, and it's going to set him back up behind me. So I always tend to focus, good, on technique before I focus on a destination, right? So like, if I, let's say if it were my dog and he didn't know heeling yet, I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm walking to my friend's house or I'm walking to 7-Eleven or something, I'm going to focus on, I'm going to teach you how to heel properly first, and then we can go on a destination walk. You seem like you want to sit down. Do you need to poop? I'm going to take him to the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is also kind of an interesting thing to cover. So, when I give a dog a release, I'm going to use his release word, right? So I think with him, break. I'm going to say break. I'm going to allow him to go sniff. But just because we're sniffing, I'm still not saying, hey, you can pull me. So my technique switches up a little bit here, and I go to more of a red light, green light type of technique. You see my grip changes, right? So I'm going to have 2 hands on the leash here for this. And this is so I can stop. It's like a little bit of a hard stop whenever I need to. So if here to pull, I can put my weight back on my foot so I'm able to stop him. So I'm going to put it back on my heel. But I just want him to be slack. So he just can't pull me, but he can be in the slack. Right, so there's a little bit of that pull. And he's not doing it bad at all. He's a pretty chill character. There's that tension on the leash. And see how I'm not moving with him?
Mm-hmm.
So if I moved with him, it would actually be a bit of positive reinforcement, because let's say if he wanted to smell this thing, this electrical box. So if he wanted to smell that, and there's a scent on there that he wants to smell, whether it's from another dog or wild animal or whatever, if I let him drag me there and he gets to that scent, so that's adding that scent that he wants, so it's your positive reinforcer. But also a very overlooked thing is that when he gets there, all the pressure from the collar is going to go away, right? So he's going to feel better when he gets there too. This is why we never want to allow the pull up. So there's a little bit of that tension. I want to wait. There's slack. Now I would go forward. You can go ahead and pause here.